Hello there, in this tutorial I'm going to show about remote control. Now remote control is a very cool thing about terminal server. Let me tell you what you have to make, what you have to do about for remote control. So this is start, administrative tools, terminal services, and you find the terminal services configuration. Now let me tell you one thing. Before making a remote control, you should remove the restriction of single session from the user. You have to remove this restriction. We already do that practical before, so just double click on it and you have to restrict each user to a single session. Uncheck that and it will allow user to make multiple sessions so that it work quite well of remote control. Now double click on it, you will find one option called remote control. Now currently it's saying do not allow remote control. You have two options: either use remote control by default settings or use remote control with the following settings. Now remote control is by name you can understand that it's like a remote assistance that you can access client, uh, you can access the terminal server's client from your computer, from your server only. So for example, being an administrator, you want to see the behavior of a particular terminal server client, particular terminal server user. For example, lots of complaint came that the particular remote server user uh, actually using network very roughly and wasting too many speed and other client not able to connect once that user tries to make a connection. So if you want to monitor that remote user, that terminal server user, you can uh, by uh, by using this remote control tool. Either you want to view the session or you want to interact the session. For example, view the session, same. You can use this remote control tool as a monitor so that you able to see how your remote user actually using the network. Or you can interact the session. For example, a client user not able to configure something or not able to use the some feature, so you can, being an administrator, can troubleshoot the network, be interacting with the session. So client actually have the session and you can interact the session by using the tool remote control. You can uncheck this thing and it won't allow a user's permission. It won't ask from the users to give a permission or not. Only thing is that if you check this thing, it will first ask to the user, ask for the permission, and you have to give the permit. If user giving the permission, then only you will able to access the remote control. So I'm applying OK. It says the configuration changes have been made in the system registry, and rest the active connection will be there as RDP. So we made a changes on remote control, and this restrict each users. You have to remove this restriction of a single session so that you are able to access remote control. We as an administrator are able to access remote control quite well. So go to terminal service, you find this option, terminal service manager. Okay, so currently two sessions are available. Test one is currently accessing remote connection from some RDP via RDP, remote desktop protocol, and I am as the administrator accessing terminal service from console. The session is console. Console means I'm an administrator accessing a terminal server on the terminal server. Means this is server 2008 and I am accessing terminal server on 2008, the real machine, the actual machine. And rest test 1 and test 2 users are accessing terminal server via remote desktop protocol, RDP TCP hash 1, RDP TCP hash 2. IDs 2 and 4 respectively. They are active currently, idle time 5:17. Now what we need to do, if for example being an administrator I want the session of test 1, right click and you'll find the remote control option is there, but it's currently gray out. I'm not able to access it. I'm not able to getting that option. Reason is simple. Currently I'm an administrator using a terminal server. My session is console. I'm actually using terminal server on actual machine, which is not good. I have to first log on my session to remote desktop protocol by using remote desktop protocol. So as administrator I have to access the session via remote desktop protocol, then only I will allow to use remote control. So I have to make changes. MSTSC hence 1 tech engineer administrator, either you use another account, or since I already made a session before, that's the reason that ID is there, the authentication is there. I just need to give a password to allow the network. So it took some time. Okay, it's created, the session is created. So what I need to do here, administrative tools, terminal services, terminal service manager, and you find that this test 1 is now active and currently okay, this is administrator, sorry, this administrator is now also available from RDP, remote desktop protocol, and this test 1 is RDP, which is also active, and another administrator, which is I just made a remote desktop protocol connection, is also available from console. So what I need to do, I have to access this test 1, right click in, and you found that this remote control connection is now available. Check this remote control connection. You find the hotkey to end a remote control session, press Ctrl plus Tab. You can use any other keys there, or you can use Alt 2. So I'm just Control plus Tab. Okay, so tries to create a session. Let me see whether I am allowed to get area. Remote control session, do you accept this request? I'm saying yes. So this is what user now user actually gave a permission, and you find the server 2008 that the session is created. This is test 1, and you can create a folder, whatever folder it wants to create. It will create on your 7 machines user. You find that 7 machine here we go. This folder is created. This is 7 machine. Test 1 uses block. Another folder, for example, same like remote assistance we done. For example, I made another folder W8. So when you check the W7 remote desktop connection, which is test 1's connection, you find another folder is created. Now when you check another session, which is test 2, this is test 2, but since I didn't make any changes on test 2, that's the reason no such thing are happening in this session. You can see the Vista test 2 user are not getting any changes, but 7 user are getting. So whatever changes whatever working you're making, currently I'm accessing test 1's tab, test 1's session, not my own session. So since I said control plus tab will be allowed to disconnect the session, so I disconnected control plus tab, and now I'm back to my admin remote user, and I'm discontinuing this also, and now I'm back to my original machine, the original server machine, administrator console, and this administrator remote desktop one is disconnected. We just made a disconnection. So this particular server actually accessed two user. One is the administrator, and one is test one. So this is how remote control works. It's like remote assistance, as we are said, that time a particular admin came and tries to troubleshoot the network, and the user which will log in was just seeing whatever happening, and that user can also uh, access the session simultaneously, not a problem. But this is what remote control is all about. Hope you learned something about remote control. Thanks for watching.